Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I could start with that one. It was on play, right? But I could start with that one. No need for me to play another song as introduction. We all have a very big God, right? And we give Him thanks and praise. Not just every morning or every evening, but through our everyday activities. We give Him praise and thanks. We give Him thanks by utilizing the strength and the abilities that He has given us for the benefit of not just ourselves, but our fellow men. Good morning to all the hardworking people across Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning in particular. This morning I wanted to mention to those who try to stay healthy, right? Those who try to, obviously your eating and your drinking is a very important aspect of yourself and the preservation of yourself and the taking care of yourself, your physical self, but also those who make that effort to exercise, right? So many of us do not have physical work that we do, and therefore really and truly life necessitates that we activate our bodies, right? You run, you skip, you jump, you something. Play some sport, enjoy some sport, in order to use this physical self that you have. So I want to say good morning, special good morning to all those outside early exercising. I passed quite a few people around the savannah, in other recreational facilities, etc. Taking care of yourself, trying a thing. Being consistent, heating up that blood, right? Getting that blood warm, getting it pumping through your veins, moving certain things. Heat as well kills certain disease, right? It is a necessity for us. Health is a necessity for us, and I promised a friend that I would speak about this particular topic, not today, but today is the day, alright? A very important topic, one that is facing Trinidad and Tobago as we speak, and it is the abuse of substances, right? The abuse of all kind of substances. And yes, we abuse food in certain ways. Yes, we abuse sugar. And yes, people would try to push the issue underneath a rug sometimes and say, well, something had to kill you. But we really do abuse certain substances to a detrimental effect. And we have seen in Trinidad and Tobago an increase in the use of certain substances. All you know I'm talking about, I mean, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Well, obviously, I'm saying obviously, but nothing too obvious. I don't pop no pills, no powder, nothing for me. But in our society now, more and more, we are seeing that these drugs are coming to the fore. And younger and younger children are getting involved in the use of these substances that have a detrimental effect on their physical selves, on the mental selves as well. Things that not good for you when you get older, and when you're younger, it's even worse because the initial development that should take place in terms of growth, you're killing even that growth to a mature stage that is necessary. So we see some types of actions as well in our society nowadays, and we say, nah, that can't be sober thinking. That's not normal. But maybe it is because more and more we have individuals who are operating and they are physically, mentally, and well, certainly spiritually as well, not normal. Now, some people believe in the medication and different medication. But what are you really medicating if you don't have an illness and you haven't gotten a proper prescription, and the way to take the medicine is a certain way, but you taking it in a whole different way? Let us be sensible with ourselves. And let us be sensible. If we are suffering from a particular problem, okay, some people say depression, some people say, you know, the afflictions of life, whatever, then you seek out the best remedy for that issue. Now, the best remedy may be sport and physical activity, a brain cooler, something where when you go and you engage in that activity, you don't really focus on the other issues. Now, why leave that more healthy alternative and instead do something that will destroy yourself? So we have certainly in Trinidad and Tobago a problem. Some of the substances, the weed that was before, that people used to local something wherever, these new forms, the kush, the high grade, the whatever they want to call it, these things are different. All I rather tell me, I'm not saying by experience, I'm saying by experience, because I could see and I could speak to people, etc. But obviously I have no experience in that, in sampling. But it is not the same. Chemically, scientifically, what they have been doing to these substances is not the same. And then the medium for which we intake this substance, nobody's body was built to take in smoke all the time or so often. And we see people so often abusing addiction, and you have to keep, and you keep. You know, as my friend was saying as well, you're spending $50, $75 in medication a day, but you're working for $250 to something. So even in your economic, because you're having economic problems, sometimes that's why you say you're taking medicine, this so-called med, but then it costing you so much, and it putting you into a further problem where you feel like Mentally, you need to medicate more. That seemed like a top in mud. And I make some excuses for our Spanish brethren, our Venezuelans and others who have integrated and who have sought a better life in Trinidad, right? And Tobago sometimes. But their use of, harder substances has now sparked. Trinis could follow a bad example when we're ready, yeah? It had a good example of how hard they work, how well they stick together and assimilate and work together to survive and to progress forward. We could have followed that, But instead of following that, some of them, they have their inclinations towards partying hard. And the use of some of these harder drugs. Now we have taken that up. Not that we didn't have it ourselves before as well, so I can't even blame them totally. But we have to be so careful. We have to promote in our society healthy lifestyles. The destruction of the human being is going to cost us. We're going to have to spend millions, billions of dollars in health care for the problems that we allow to multiply now. Of course, it was fantastic to see the end of locking up a man for a smoke or whatever, right? Of course. Made sense. Long time it made sense. They took too long to do it. But simultaneously, while dealing with that issue and decriminalizing, how could we leave that gap where we did not increasingly encourage our children and our younger ones into a mindset of healthy living? And of course, we need to educate the parents and the elders as well. Because it is one thing to tell someone to do something, But children have a way that they don't really like to listen. But they also have a way that they copy what you do. Right? I want to repeat that, because sometimes we miss that as adults, as parents. Children sometimes don't like to listen. As in, you tell them to do something, they may not listen. But you know what? Surely they do. Like, sure. Unquestionable, I could tell you, because I am a parent as well. They do what you do. They imitate. They might not listen, but they imitate. And therefore, we have to set that example. Not because it is decriminalized and you could do it, you do it in front of them, you do it, with the children. Some parents smoking with the children. You have to understand that if you are doing something that is detrimental to yourself, that you try at some point to stop that cycle so that it may not continue on to them. You know you coughing. You know you start to smoke at a young age and it has an effect on your health. You know that maybe you are addicted and you cannot go without the nicotine, whatever, THC, whatever drug inside it that is addictive that you have to get. Now it is for us to understand that we don't want our young ones to be afflicted in that way. So you may lack that love for yourself, but oh gosh, love your children, and have the discipline. Have the discipline. Have that discipline to just don't do it in front of them. Have that discipline to discourage them. Maybe even have that discipline of yourself to stop. If they know, son, as a big man, I'm really trying to stop this, you know. This costs me money, you know. Money that would be better served taking care, you know. Son, and cough in between. Sometimes it could be a genuine cough. I really had to stop this, you know. And the best advice, like somebody gave me, which they didn't even have to give me that advice, but they say, in the whole life, if it's one thing that they would not do when they were younger, was starting to smoke. And I think they struggled with stopping, and I think they've stopped now. And then we also see now the vaping. Yeah, they say the vaping might be better, but God, boy, I don't know. Good morning, brother. Welcome. Morning, morning. For some reason, I'm not hearing you, so if you could just call back, I'm looking on the board to see what's going wrong. Maybe just my speakers, so I may not be hearing you, but other people may be. Alright, so you can call back. You may call back right after the break now, because we're going to the break.
Hello?
Yeah, I found the problem, a hardware problem. Welcome, man. We just have a couple seconds, so give me it quick now.
Okay, real quick. As Trinidadians, we have been abusing positivity. I will call back after the break, but we have been abusing and neglecting positive, good manners. And that has been contributing to our detriment for many years. And so for some reason, we're not acknowledging that. But I will call back. I will pass it back to you, and I'll call back after the break, right?
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. And I agree with you. We have been neglecting positivity and somehow gravitating towards sometimes negativity. So we take the break and we'll be right back. Blessings.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street. 919 FM.
Attention business owners. Are you looking to reach a vast audience and boost your brand's visibility? Then look no further. The Street 919 FM is here to help you shine. With over 170,000 followers on our social media platforms, our radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more about our affordable advertising packages. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with your target audience. Advertise with the Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959 or 384-2232.
This week, one can enjoy Junior Heritage on July 9th at the Shore Park Complex from 9 a.m. The grand opening gala is on July 10th at the Shore Park Complex from 7 p.m. The Heritage Food Fair, Reminiscence, on July 11th at the Scarborough Esplanade from 10 a.m. Northside Passion at Castara Beach Facility, July 12th from 11 a.m.
Lie down, girl, it's not time to go home yet.
We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. Play way fast cash, that is the fit. We rollin' big. Fast cash and play way take win. No extra spend, there's vibes and luck. Play way and fast cash turn up. We rollin', yes, we rollin' big. Fast cash and play way take win. Mega mix or monster pick. Jackpot from 10,000 quick.
Jackpot starting at $10,000 have now been added to NLCB's Playway and Fast Cash games. Wager on Playway Mega Mix or Fast Cash Monster Draw for a chance to win the jackpot after every draw. Don't miss out. Visit NLCBGames.com for details. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
Whatever you want, it's at Comfort Inn and Suites. We have it all. Buffet breakfast and $99 lunch specials. Tuesday date night, Wednesday ladies night, Friday karaoke, and Saturday barbecue. Celebrate your birthday, anniversary, or just treat yourself to a night out. Pamper yourself at the spa or book a day room to rest and retreat. We have it all at Comfort Inn and Suites. Find us on social media. Call 612-3835 or WhatsApp 466-2478. Comfort Inn and Suites.
New KFC tenders just hit, and you'll want to dip it, dunk it, drip it all day long. Hot and spicy or extra crispy. Non-spicy, 3 pieces for just $29.95. Sauce it up with one of 4 flavors for that finger-licking goodness. This Java, chase the crunch. Only at KFC.
When your corporate event needs more than just food, it needs an experience. A Michelin experience. From mouth-watering buffet spreads to beautiful packed takeaway boxes, the Michelin Experience Limited delivers more than just wheels. We deliver flavor. We deliver satisfaction. We deliver excellence straight to your boardroom. Whether it's a conference, board meeting, or a retirement function, go beyond basic. Go bold. Go Michelin Experience Limited. Call us now at 1-868-474-2250 or follow us on social media at Michelin Experience. Great food, exceptional service every time.
Get hot this summer. Oh no, we mean H-U-T, as in hot days mean hot deals with Pizza Hut. Get 1 large pizza plus single breadsticks for only $135, or go bigger with 2 large pizzas, family breadsticks, and cinnamon rolls for just $290. All your favorite pizzas with all the toppings you love all summer long. So head to the Hut and get your hot deals while this offer is super hot. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM radio. Here my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamfleur, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on the Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Hi there, I'm Lester Sublal, inviting you to join me on the first, second, and third Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, and on the fourth and fifth Saturday from 8:30 p.m. for an extended version of Slow Gospel Music on Street 91.9 FM.
This summer, Pizza Hut is bringing the heat with a deal that's too good to miss. Get one large pizza plus cheesy breadsticks for just $135. Pepperoni, cheese, Hawaiian, and more. Pick your flavor and make it a Hut day. Dine in, carry out, or get it delivered. Get your Hut deals until August 31st only at Pizza Hut. Now that's delivering.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Good morning. We are back. Thanks to everyone again who is locked on and tuned in. Thank you for everybody who has joined us on Facebook, on YouTube. Blessings to everyone. Important topic this morning, and in particular, I mentioned the topic, one, because I have a friend named Paul who up to yesterday was speaking to me, and he continuously advocates for the reduction of the use of different substances, And he sees the growing concern in Trinidad and Tobago for the use of some serious substances and the abuse, of course, of it. Now, like I said before, some people would say they are medicating. And you know if you're being honest or not. You know if you have reached a level of addiction, because even if you are using some type of other pharmaceutical, sometimes you reach a point of addiction that is extremely dangerous for yourself as well. And you need to be even careful with legal drugs, right? Real talk. Legal as in things that you buy across the counter, things that you need prescriptions for. Even that, there are people who are really afflicted with addiction and issues pertaining to those drugs. Things that are that powerful, that are able to numb pain, change your mindset or your emotion, etc. Things that are that powerful have powerful effects, and certainly powerful effects over time. God has made all of these things, beautiful things, so it is not to say, oh, it's natural and this and nothing wrong with that. If you misuse what God has naturally created, then you create a problem for yourself as well. So let us be very, very mindful. So Paul, I do my part, right? I talk about it. I don't know if you are logged on. But also, yesterday in our Prime Minister's Monday Night Forum, she also spoke on this particular issue. I think, in my opinion, she took a very, very brave stance as well. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hey, my brother, good morning to you. You know, I hear you talking about drugs and things. Anything that relaxes the nervous system is a drug. No. Medicine is used as a drug today, and drugs is a medicine. So, when we're talking about these things, I mean, it is very complicated, because things that they're used to, like, to help people and like mad people and whatever. You know, people with nervous breakdown and things. People use it as a drug, the same tablet, and then high. So half of the medicine is drug and half of the drugs is medicine. And it's relaxing the nervous system, so it's a drug. And you see, like, we know if they have us watching something and they're killing with something else, in a sense that they send it to Caesar, and everybody come back Romans. And we're playing follow the leader. That wrong? All right, that's wrong. That's right? All right, that's right. I'm not questioning nothing. I'm just going down that one way right through. It's about a lot of things on the market that is killing us. Worse than people smoking cigarette or cocaine or weed. Things killing us.
Truth, I ain't doubting that at all.
You understand what I'm saying? And we eating it and drinking it every day like normal. I tell you, the send us to Caesar, and we come back Romans, and we just plain follow the leader. My friend, have a good morning.
Man, you too, you have a God morning as well. Blessings. Yeah, for sure. So we do need to be very, very careful with the things that we intake on a daily basis that are not categorized as drugs. Whatever you put into yourself makes up yourself. You, yourself, your physical self, don't come from nowhere else other than the things that you consume. Think about that. So try to ensure that the things that you consume are things that are pure and clean and whole and nutritious, that could actually build you. Build a good you. Physically, mentally, and of course we have to understand the spiritual nature as well. Morning brother, welcome.
Hey, morning brother Fuad. I was calling right before the break. Real brief. I believe as Trinidadians we have been seriously neglecting and also seriously discrediting and just describing the most appropriate word is disrespecting positive attributes, positive manners, respect and our island on the whole. You know, in the spiritual and also in the reality sense. And we need to stop doing that because doing that only degrades us as a people. I will leave it brief, pass it back to you for respect, but I would really appreciate if, you know, we do a little bit better in terms of respecting each other as a people. Blessings to everybody.
Yeah, man, 100%. I agree with you. 100%. Respect yourself, right? Show that love for yourself as well. In every way. So last night, I heard our Prime Minister speaking about a particular topic, and you know, I had to read the news this morning. It was very, very interesting. It is very interesting, and I know it's going to be a topical debate for Trinbagonians. And it is, the headline in the Express is drinking age going up. Of course, I did speak about alcohol, did I? But alcohol is a legal drug, right? And alcohol is a serious issue for many of us as well. Some of us recreate in a very limited form and, you know, manage the way we consume, etc. Right? Some of us don't partake at all or very sparsely. Right? I in the don't partake at all category. And then obviously there are some who have challenges with the consumption of alcohol and also the actions that it opens them up to and the things that result. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has signaled that her government intends to clamp down on young drinkers by increasing the legal age of alcohol consumption from 18 to 21 years. So let me be real with all here. Of course, I have a political party, the New National Vision, and I would want to discourage the abuse and use of legal and non-legal drugs in Trinidad and Tobago. But I might stay away from Trinbagonians and this topic in particular. I would educate, I would encourage people to make healthier choices. I may discourage public education, really drive it home to the children to be strong and if stay away from things that are not necessary in your life and point to the debilitating, the negative effects of all forms of drugs, right? Alcohol included. But I might stay away just because you know how Trinis could be. Trinis not easy, you know. Far more. They say poor Fuad. Fuad is a Muslim. Fuad trying to ting people with this and that. I know how it does go. But, you know, I'm looking at this particular statement, and it is brave. It is brave. So she, speaking at the United National Congress Monday Night Report, at Penal Secondary School, Ms. Bissessar addressed the worrying issue of addiction amongst youth as she announced that legislation will be brought to Parliament to raise the age for the consumption of alcohol and marijuana, as well as for gambling. I don't think I mentioned gambling, but for Trinbagonians who on the ground, who have a little idea of what's taking place in Trinidad and Tobago, you would know that gambling is a increasing concern. That's the best way politically correct way I could put it, right? Gambling is a increasing concern that as a nation we need to address, and as a nation we need to get hold of. There are things that are addictive, and apparently, because again I really don't have no first-hand experience, I never even play a dollar wappy, but for some reason or the psychological makeup of the human being, for whatever reason, I may have to do some deeper research into it. Boy, gambling is a serious addiction for some people, right? A serious addiction, and it is also being addressed in this conversation. It is at that point where it is a conversation, and I know across Trinidad and Tobago today it will be a conversation. People weighing in on their views, commentators, others, because it affects the lives of our citizens as well. So she went on to just speak about the issue, and that it is of concern, and that there is the intention to raise the legal age for gambling and marijuana use to 25, and the legal age for alcohol will be raised to 21 years of age. So y'all could weigh in. It's not just for my opinion on the matter, but y'all could weigh in and express your thoughts on it this morning. 3420081, 4665391. As I said, Fuad Abubakar, I know the licks all that I try to give me, so I might have a quicker engage in public education and engage in really trying to shape our younger children into a direction that is more conducive to healthy lifestyles, and that includes wider than just not using these substances, obviously. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr.
Morning.
The proposal made by the Prime Minister last night is a politically sensitive issue. And I am saying that if in fact the procedure, the right procedure is followed, it should minimize or probably put to rest any serious risk. You need to put it out for public comment. You need to involve the public in a discussion with respect to that matter and get their views with respect to it. You don't go to Parliament and just say you've put in Parliament there are 41 people. Put it to public comment. And you need to have, as you say, public consultation. Let the population participate in the process. I think she would do well if she embark on such a path. And that is in keeping with the policy formulation. It's policy you're making there, you're changing the policy of making an amendment to the existing policy. And therefore you need to involve the stakeholders, you need to involve the psychiatrists, the school principal, all these different people in the community and whatnot. The law association, all these people should be part of the Parent Teachers Association, because we don't know, we know how pervasive or widespread the use of drugs and marijuana and whatnot. We don't know if that could, I'm not saying that could be responsible for the kind of upsurge in the kind of behavior, violent behavior in schools and whatnot. We don't know. And when I looked at what happened recently in England, in Manchester, where a person who is known to have been using marijuana. He took a sword and butchered a young boy in Manchester. They say he was very talented, a black guy, a black boy, and mutilated the man. Right? So I'm saying that I don't know, but you need to have a wide discussion on it to ease, because these people here would take that, make everything a political issue, and because the whole thing about they want power. But if we need sober discussion, sober dialogue and discussion with respect to those things, and therefore let the public consult with the public, widespread consultation. Don't take that and go with, because don't do like the last regime. They go to parliament and they make law, and all we hear the morning some law pass. They imposing law on people. You need to consult and allow the people to participate in the process. Let's hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Let's hear what the experts have to say. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I am sure that people will have a lot to say. I am sure that the major companies that produce will have a bit to say as well. Welcome, caller. Morning.
Morning, Abu. Everything cool?
Yeah, man. Everything cool, man. What's going on with you? You good?
I do, you know, I don't know what part of Trinidad some people from. And I don't know if some people is a Trini. But I'm going to tell you why I know feel we have a prime minister. You have to put out these things. They are not set a consultant, you know, because I telling you, people in Trinidad just break the law. Young people. I know all the young who they're drinking, punching, they're smoking, they're young. But the woman is doing the right thing by putting it out there. You only know set a consultant, and if you're not born, I in Trinidad for 60 or much years. But what the previous government wasn't doing, they're just doing things rough. And they're only doing it for one type of people. But she's doing this for the whole country. Everybody knows young people, old people, Trinidadian that break law. But we need this kind of law to keep us certain people in check, especially young people. Because you see the drinking and the smoking is most of where the crime and all kind of thing out of hand. Idleness in children. Yeah, you say you don't smoke and you don't drink, but you're an idle, but you have to find something to do. So she's doing the right thing. You understand? Because you still, they go break law, but that's how the law. You hear me?
Yeah, man, I hear any reasoning there, man. I hear you.
No, because you see, yeah, we're noticing this in this situation, like a talk show host, you know. A lot of people is Trini, but for some reason, when you send them to school, they didn't want to go to school, they didn't learn nothing, so now start to learn. And when they come on a talk show, and they're talking to you, and when you come in to bring out the truth, they're trying to be bright, but it's too late. But we Trini, everybody know who drinking, punching, and smoking weed, and who causing anything. But you have to put out the law. The woman is just genuine. She not like evil, like Devil Rowley. We're doing things one side and fighting down a type of people. She putting out the law there. So it's not about with that, and if she consulted and if she do this, no. They will break the law still. We know that. But the law will be there.
All right.
The law will be there.
I understand your point. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
All right, blessings. Yeah, so I mean, it will give way to consultation because she has put it forward, and it is going to be discussed widely across Trinidad and Tobago. And I do anticipate people, psychologists, social workers, other people involved in education, involved in childcare, involved in the juvenile correction facilities, involved in the prisons and other areas. All people, you know, civil society, religious groups will weigh in, as we are weighing in this morning on 91.9 FM, Voices of the Street. We are hearing from the street what they think about the issue, which is an important issue because it is changing our legislation. it is aimed towards, as Ms. Besessa said, curbing the increasing consumption among young people. Of course, we continuously advocate to young people, to older people as well. Be very, very careful when you consume alcohol in what you do. Do not drink and drive. We recognize that your sense of judgment is not sound, is impeded when you are under the influence of alcohol. So let us be real. I remember my father telling a joke. A drunk man at night, he knocking a lamppost, and he saying, open up, downstairs. And I seen the light on upstairs, so I know all you there. You know, he by a light pole knocking it, and saying he seen the light upstairs. So we recognize, and I hope that, you know, some of the proliferation of accidents that we see on the roadways today are not a result of people, you know, falling back into that ignorance of driving under the influence of alcohol, risking your life and the lives of others on the roads. It's nonsensical. Don't do it. And people have to look out for each other as well. And we need to be responsible as adults, as human beings. I mean, you're 21, you're supposed to have enough sense that you know if you're going to drive, then you can't drink. That if you drink, you act a certain way, or you have the propensity to do stupidness. So, you know, deal with yourself. I have a friend behind the bridge, you know, when I did some work in that area and stuff. Man is the coolest, nicest person. But when that man drink, Lord, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, you know, we have to know ourselves. We have to understand what we're doing, because it opens the way for so much problems. And what we're trying to curb is problems, long-term problems, things that are going to affect us for life. Things that afflict us in terms of even life and living. And that's just alcohol. Then we go to the marijuana, which I'll be honest with you all, I am not a fan of. If you need to medicate because it has certain properties of healing in it to do certain things, no problem. But I don't just walk around taking Panadol because I like how Panadol is make me feel. You know, manage it, manage yourself. If you're medicating, okay, you just draw the marijuana and drink the tea or whatever to deal with whatever issue you have, and what you just do. Understand the challenge in consumption through smoke. You burn the weed and then you're burning the cigarette too. You know what I mean? And you tell me it is for cancer. What you telling me? Because that tar and that this and that in that cigarette, you can never tell me after you smoke the weed for cancer and then you make sure and give yourself cancer after with the cigarette. I mean, let we be real. Let us be real. I've lived in a place where a whole generation of smokers, and then when they come together in the older age, there's a chorus of when they coughing, and it's a chorus. I tell you, I live in a place where like cigarette use was so proliferated, right? So common among a certain generation that over time when that generation reach 50, 60, whatever, that generation, when you interacted in a space with many of them, you get a chorus, a certain cough. I mean, it can't, let us make sense. Let us respect the gift that God has blessed us with. And of course people have those rights. They have full rights, but we're trying to discourage negative lifestyles and encourage healthy living. You know, so it's a really interesting topic. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Ivan Puad Abubakar.
Yeah, man. Morning, Prezi. Welcome on the topic, man. What you thinking?
Yeah?
Welcome on the topic. What you thinking?
It's a nice topic for you. It's a nice topic. You see, but the kind of thoughts I have about that is that the world at large, as human beings, we are very experimental in many, many ways. I see me start smoking since I was when I was maybe about 14 years. A child is a very kind of, from birth, experimenting because for experience in life. And it's basically experiences that we develop a consciousness and survival. Now, it's not a bad thing to keep on promoting that people let go drugs, let go all kinds of drugs. Then again, too, what is death to many? Many can see death. They may see sickness. When they see sickness, they don't want to dead. But nobody is looking out for that because they don't know it. So in respect, whatever the human mind see to promote for his satisfaction, he does it. Now, we may tell the person who in that experience don't do. But in governments who encourages the extreme establishment of alcohol, cigarettes, those big industries, if they slow down it and cause it not to be in the society, then it might get slow down in the society. Also, too, that when you're teaching children, how much of us being taught the reality of life rather than the industrial education that they want to give us for us to survive for them? For that, if from a baby you start to teach a child the difference in biology and so forth in a way that they would see that from even before they reach in the gang to start to smoke. It's a wide thing, Fuad. It's wide. I go through it and I'm intelligent now, and I still, in these days, still carry on a hallucinative situation of keeping the body calm. And I say keeping the body calm because most of what people are doing is keeping a kind of natural calm, and they say, although it's dangerous. So you see, it's a wide topic. Man. It's a very wide. I'm not saying that. What we have to do is really try to help others to don't do it, since many of us know it. But it's a very wide topic to deal with. It's not only Trinidad alone, the world at large. All the people who doing art and big song singers and all kind of things. They use it to, they let the body bring out certain things. Right, brother? It's a wide topic.
Yeah, man, and you take it wider there. You give us some kind of knowledge. There's some interesting knowledge.
It's a wide topic. God create man to experience, and it's that he doing, and the fate of it eventually is up to your own self. But as I say, people don't know when they go dead, how they go dead. And even so, when they know when they go get sick, how they go get sick, except that when they get sick, I know they have a problem personally.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prezi. Thank you.
All right, brother. I'm Trinidad and Tobago.
Morning, my brother. Welcome.
Good morning, good morning. That is an interesting topic you have there this morning. But let me show you something. I don't believe in people passing laws on what you're supposed or not supposed to do with your body. You could educate the nation on what is good and what is bad. But you see, bringing laws to tell you can't do this or you must do that or don't do the other, I have a serious problem with that. As a matter of fact, I will draw to your attention that statistics will show that the drinking causes more accident than the smoking. Let me tell you something about smoking. Most of the big singers and musicians and all the music and things that you enjoy, most of the time, these people are on some sort of substance, whether it be weed, ecstasy, or whatever it is. But I'm not going so far with the ecstasy and thing. I'm staying with the weed part.
Yeah, that going a little far. And I wouldn't say most, I would say a lot. We have not been able to really check it, but maybe a lot. Don't say most, maybe a lot. But I understand what you're saying.
But the top musicians in the world, all right, look Bob Marley for instance. You could anybody could contest Bob Marley, and Bob Marley it was a ring long smoker. He's smoking chillum. We smoking a little stick here. Them smoking in chillum. And look at the kind of music it get from them. Most of them fellas were playing pan. We're bringing all them sweet music for Panama. You think they're bringing it out with a natural head? I don't know why people is bent on attacking weed. I don't know why. Why? You just say that, you know, God bless us with so much things. Well, he bless us with herb too. And probably why he bless us with herb is to do the things, the miracle things that people has been doing in talent and other things. You know, if you smoke a joint and you drive and you're the best driver on the road, you know, if you drink rum, you know, and you're driving, you're so giddy, you're making accident. Right. I don't know why, but I take in your word.
I take in your word for it. I ain't sure 100%, but I take in your word for it.
Well, take it from me.
Yeah.
Take it from me. I know why I'm telling you. I know exactly why I'm telling you. Top musician and other people with talent, it come across because of smoking. Right? So
yeah, I know that it heightens your senses in certain ways. But I think we also need to distinguish between what is marijuana nowadays and what was marijuana as well, because
let me just give you a situation with my personal experience with that.
Yeah, man.
Years ago, maybe about 20-something years ago, I had an issue. I had children to mind and things was really, really hard, right? And one night I sit down just so and say, but how I can get that? I exhaust all the areas to get loans and so forth, right? And one night I sit down just so and saying, boy, I really need some money because I need tires, the children have to go to school, book list coming up, where I go do? You know what I do? I go and sit down at Bella Plavantia, plenty quarries and things. I went and sit down on a big stone and light up a joint and smoke the whole thing, boy, because I was real frustrated too. And you know, by just sitting down and meditating, an idea come to my mind. The credit union have a thing called a credit, a demand loan. And I was able to go and get a demand loan, and that pulled me out of our hole, and I started moving forward. If I didn't take that pull and sit down by myself and meditate, that would have never come to my mind. So that's just one thing I'm showing you. So you see, all them people were fighting on with, and I feel like that we discussion thing with she talking about coming from Alexander, you know. But them don't understand because them living life nice. Them don't know nothing else but nice living. But we on the ground here, we just have things to pacify us, to keep us comfortable and keep us in a level state of mind. So don't attack the weed. Leave the weed alone. Have a blessed morning.
Yeah, man, I hear you. You're sure you could not sit down on that rock without smoking and still come up with the same idea? Nah.
No.
All right.
If I didn't smoke, I might have put on a robbery.
All right. No problem. Blessings.
All right.
Good morning.
Assalamualaikum, brother. How are you?
Walaikum salam, man. Welcome. Peace be unto you and everybody listening.
But my quick thing is that I interacted with my ex-boss, my former boss, many years ago, and he said Now, how the old people and them used to smoke long time. Now, he said he believed marijuana has its good values, but what has happened now is the youths and them nowadays are misusing it. He said they will take the fresh marijuana and mash it up. Because he saw his parents and grandparents working in the sugar plantation. And they mash it up, stuff it in chillum. He said, but all these processed marijuana now, one, it's so addictive. So they say it's getting out of control. But for me personally, I believe it's a herb, it's a natural herb. But for me, I don't like it. I tried it already. And the symptoms I got is not for me. And what made me stop smoking cigarettes as well, I don't want no smoking. I got bronchitis. And in nature, my work, I used to be eaten later, so developing ulcers. So I think what they should do, they should also go on the part of educating the good as well about it. If it was said before by another caller, I didn't hear, but I believe education about marijuana, the goods, what it does as well, and also show the different strains now. Because I hear something called kush and jam, and all the different definitions they call it. So that is just me. I think that is the best way. But the late Mr. Khan told me, he said what he saw, they will take the fresh marijuana leaf and the fresh tobacco leaf, mash it up, grind it up in your Loran seal or mortar and pestle, squeeze out the juice, stuff it in chiller. He said in his view, that was the better way to smoke it. He wasn't saying that smoking is correct. That's just my simple take on it. But I think our educational background is also need to develop to educate the people more in depth.
Yeah.
So that's just my... Okay, assalamualaikum, brother. But other than everything is all right so far by the grace of Allah.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much for your information on the topic as well. Yeah. And I do think traditionally the consumption was for our children in their formative years for sure. I don't think that was the case. Welcome and good morning, caller.
Good morning, sir. All right, let's go. 95% of the benefits of marijuana is from boiling and drinking. There are only a few sicknesses that cause for it to be smoked, like glaucoma and leukemia and one or two others. So there are very few things that gain benefits by smoking it. A lot of people use those benefits as an excuse. They use the most minor things to make it a general. It's like almost the same rhetoric that they use for abortion, highlighting the most unlikely subject and making it the general. So there is no greater benefit to it than by boiling and drinking. As far as the legislating of what people can do, it's not so much the legislation as what you can do by a body. But if it is, I make it illegal, I make it illegal. It doesn't matter if you think it's okay and it's all right. It's illegal. In many countries, even alcohol is illegal. So let's be real, right? It's not about if you think that's making sense, but it is the law of the land at the time. And even scriptures say, obey the law of the land. So let's not get carried away on certain things. If they want to legislate, you can't smoke, you can't smoke. If they say you can't drink, you can't drink. But it's when they tell you you can't speak freely, that is the real problem, because that is dictatorship, because everybody have the right to say what they want to say. I mean, I'm not speaking about using expletives, etc., etc. But you must have the right to speak freely about issues. Otherwise, that is where the problem is. They can tell you what you cannot say, but they're not supposed to tell you what you have to say. And if you read a little bit about Mr. Jordan Peterson, you will understand what I'm speaking about. You all have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you very much. I definitely take your first point in informing us about the useful nature of how people derive benefits from the marijuana plant.
Yes, my brother.
But we will continue. I just want to respond to him with one other thing after. Morning caller, welcome.
You know the scripture is about next, right? About certain things what happen. How if Moses get inspiration and the Ten Commandments is when he burned the grass, man, the international road, the United Nations, the Holy Thing, marijuana.
You're saying the burning grass was marijuana burning? That's what you're saying?
No, Moses burned his grass and get the inspiration of the Ten Commandments, my brother.
You sure, boy? We get that one.
Positive.
I never heard that one before, but
I'm telling you that now, eh? Moses, and then you just, you
ain't telling me alone that, you know, you're telling all at Trinidad and
everybody. If you really read the scriptures, it's good. And what you messaging it, plenty of the scriptures have marijuana in it, eh? Burning it, my friend. And people doesn't see that.
If they didn't know today, now they know. Eh? You tell
yourself and understand the message behind the scriptures. My friend, have a God there.
Yeah, man. Blessings to you there, man. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Let me give a second little small thing to the whole world, if it's anything. Now,
go ahead, short,
in my young days, the study to going to school, these subjects and them wasn't really there. So I could say 13, 14, I start. What's going on in this society today? And I observe many children in smoking, you know. Many. And why? Because knowledge increased to such an extent that they realize, different to my day, that smoking is not good. So on what I said early on about maintaining that smoking and drinking and drugs on the whole must be started from primary school, from very from child when they experience it, so that it would stave off that reality that we carry about those things, drugs and smoking. But if we don't do it from that, then it will have an increase of smoking when a child comes all 8, 9, 10 years and started developing friendship with others. Because a company is one of the things. How many people and them were talking about this? How many of them really know? If you're not smoking, you wouldn't know. If you're not drinking, you wouldn't know. You just be observing the calamities of things. The people who doing the thing could help a lot in saying what happens. And these people may not even want to come out to talk their attitude. But the truth is, it must start from child, from baby. If by chance the industries can't be closed down, it must start from baby. This thing is not a no thing. This thing is years of addiction of people. And I'm talking about years where we never know, could even prehistoric and all, when all drinking started, when they're able to mix chemicals. So we have to start from baby, start to teach the reality of destroying the body, what it causes eventually. I will leave that right there. Start from baby. Unless you won't do that, we'll have a proliferation of drugs in human existence. Food we eating, all them food. Who creating all them food with all kind of chemicals? And those foods, plenty of them doing worse than the cigarette and the rum. Because plenty of people dying and leaving smokers and drinkers behind. What are we talking about?
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Certainly there is a lot of negatives from certain foods, right? And maybe even drinks according to what is put in them, and we should be extremely cautious about what we intake into ourselves. To compare it to drugs and the effect, we could try to compare it as well, but we have to take care of ourselves. If you want your body and your mind to be at optimum performance, then you have to really understand what you're going to put into it. We look at professionals, we look at our athletes in Trinidad and Tobago and in the Caribbean who have ascended to the highest heights of performance, and many of them will tell you that they have totally abstained from any form of even recreational drug. Of course, there are performance enhancing stuff, and there are natural enhancing stuff as well that, you know, like Usain Bolt would have told you about ground foods and stuff that he constantly fed himself to be able to have that optimum performance physically and mentally as a human being. We do understand the effect that drugs and alcohol have on our mental and spiritual selves. Well, of course, our physical as well. All are connected. So we really need to be careful. We really need to proceed with our children, with ourselves from a position of knowledge and intelligence. We need to encourage healthy lifestyles, and somewhere in between that, if we really work on it, we will build a stronger, healthier society. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Hey, brother, just brother Fred, real quick. You know, I mean this humbly and respectfully. Yeah? I think as you was now speaking about mental health, but I'm not using you to say this. I think that caller named President. Somebody need to reach out to him first and have a conversation private and say, sir, I didn't listen to him right now, but I'm sure when he come, like usual platform, he just come in and he just talk and no come in, thing, and then a few seconds later, he just end up screaming on the phone. So somebody, just my humble opinion, somebody need to reach out to him privately and say, does he need help? But he not good for our mental health. Blessings to the nation.
Yeah. Leave my boy Prezi alone. I understand Prezi 100%. But the volume sometimes, I'll try to change it a little bit sometimes, right? Blessings, caller.
Yeah, I ain't saying long. I just called back just to say this. You know what I feel happening? I feel that people ain't realize that we're living in the year 2025 right now. I feel they're still on the long-time colonial thinking, 1962 kind of thinking, and looking to get a different kind of results this time. I feel people have to get hip to the time and realize that everything changed. The way people used to think, the way children used to think, and everything circling around that, change. People not thinking them kind of way no more. So you see these kind of things, if you don't experience something, how you gonna know to make an informed decision whether it's good or bad?
Yeah.
How?
So let me help you with that, right? As a young man, I totally believe, well, I'm not so young anymore, in learning from other people's mistakes now. So if I see something and I see the effect, like I would look on, I ain't gonna do that. Like if I know you'll get burned if you put your hand by fire, I ain't really gonna do that. I don't need to actually experience it now. And I think that is a certain level of wisdom that we could also impart on our kids.
No, you're experiencing it, you know. You're not experiencing it by doing it, but you're experiencing it by witnessing the effect. You understand? All right, like for instance, every carnival, I have some friends used to be coming down from the States, and you know, one of the favorite parties we used to go is in PSA. And I see they have this foil paper and taking something and sniffing it in their nose. So I asked them, where's that? They say that is cocaine. They say, what I tried? Come here. Just the mere fact that I take out that and slip that in my nose, them ask me how I feel. I say, but I ain't feeling no way now. But just that experience alone caused me to know, you see, that leader that alone, stay far from that. I see men on cocaine trying to drink a juice and couldn't raise the cup up to the mouth. Right? So to my mind, I say, well, I tried the first time. I try it, I see the effect of it, and I watch the effect that it have on other people. And I say, well, all right, I make an informed decision and say, see, that is not for me. You understand? But you see, all these people were coming and calling with this backward thinking. They was young at one time, and they used to do the same thing because weed was all around in their days. So if they choose not to partake in it, all well and good for them. I know people who born before me,
We
and
just
after this, they're
we
still
just have
smoking and they're still going strong.
yeah. We have to leave it at that.
Understand?
Sorry about that. The time finished. Yeah. So sorry. The time is just up. Right. We might continue the conversation a little bit tomorrow. All right. Blessings to everyone. Stay safe. You know, and live life to the fullest in the right way. We can enjoy life in positive, a positive manner. Right? Love to everybody. Take care.
170,000 followers on our social media platforms or radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more about our affordable advertising packages. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with your target audience. Advertise with The Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959 or 384-2232.
You want to find something great to do with your Tuesday nights? You want to learn and understand the true reason for Jesus? Then join us every Tuesday